Hey, I'm Prota.
And I'm KY Jimmy.
And we're going to talk about our first impressions of Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yes, we just finished playing actually. We recorded a little bit of our discussions while playing that we were also going to put up, but some sad events happened, and all we're going to have time for is a nice little discussion about the game, our gripes, our things that we love about it, you know.
Well, the first few levels anyways, so it's just a rough start, I guess.
Yeah, this is a preview discussion. We didn't beat the game. We're talking about it after barely finishing the first world. Maybe, what, 5 levels maybe?
Well, it's just
that. Yeah.
But yeah, so far it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's definitely nice to look at. I'd say that.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
Gameplay.
Really,
No, go ahead. You want to keep talking about how it looks?
I was, but you can skip that too.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. Let's go. It's pretty.
I was gonna say, it has a lot of cool effects, like what was it? Like the time that the shit came down.
The tower, those pillars.
No, it wasn't even pillars. It was like shit, you know.
I know what you're talking about. That's when those platforms appeared, when all that stuff was falling,
and
it made platforms for you to go up when it fell.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but I think you got a better idea.
Yeah, but they do some pretty cool things, you know. Another thing that happened in the levels that I liked were they threw you into the background. Like normally you'd be playing on the foreground and you'd see like an area in the back and they actually shoot you back there and you play there for a little bit and then they bring you back to the foreground, and I thought that was a pretty interesting thing they did.
Yeah, and also from the looks of it, there's multiple layers too. Like you remember the part where we had the cannon that shot you between like different layers? Yeah. So it's not like just foreground and background, but it's like multiple layers stacked into, you know,
let's
3D
see, maybe future levels will have it layered like that. Because so far for moving though, they've only had us go between 2. But we might have more later, and that's definitely a cool effect.
In the minecart actually, I gotta say, the way that the camera pans out sometimes, so you see like way ahead of you, and then at another part it'll just zoom in,
and you're like, oh snap.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they're taking some liberties here with the camera and the different level design, and I like it.
It's pretty cool.
But enough about levels. Let's talk about the gameplay.
The gameplay? Alright.
Gameplay. It's Donkey Kong Country Returns. So you would imagine it's returning to the DK Country formula here.
Exactly.
Well, that's what you would imagine. But it's kind of... It's a mixed bag.
Well, let's talk the mixed bag because we don't have the video that we did before. We're gonna have to talk about it from scratch. We played using 2 different control methods. Prota over here, he used just the bar, you know.
Just the Wiimote sideways, which is also known as the horizontal position.
The horizontal position,
as said in the game. While you used the nunchuck style.
Yeah,
that's what they called it.
Alright, the nunchuck style. So you'd think that I would have more buttons to work with, you know, just saying.
I mean, you have a nunchuck, you have a Wiimote.
Look at all these pretty buttons.
Lots of buttons.
The thing is that, the general way to perform an action, like let's say you want to pound on the ground,
as Donkey Kong,
or if you want to do a roll or something, it used to be the Y button on the Super Nintendo. You remember? You hit Y while holding down and you pound.
Yep.
You'd hit Y and
while
you roll.
Running, yeah, you roll.
You know what the control is in this game? Waggle.
Waggle.
Whether you're me with all these spare buttons not being used, or this guy over here holding a handlebar, he has to shake, I have to waggle, and it's really stupid.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't mind shake/waggle controls for some things.
Well, it does go deeper than that.
I know, we're gonna get into it. Hey, I think you did free look. Look at that. You're free looking.
Oh, I actually did it finally. In the middle of our
probably because you waggled. Everything's about the waggle.
It's about the waggle, alright.
But, anyways, I'm sure if you've played older Donkey Kong Country games, you know how important it is to time your rolls when you need to do that long jump, or you want to get a secret item that's just out of your reach. You need to roll and then jump in time to make it to the platform. You know, it was very important. And here, instead of being a button press, now it's
a shake.
A shake. and it's kind of not as responsive as a button press would be.
Of course.
So that's one of my gripes there. You know, it's like if I want to do a precise platforming run, you know, I feel more comfortable with buttons.
Of course. And you have enough buttons. You have this A button. Is that used?
I think it's only used to, like, you know, when you die and you need that extra life and you kind of come back and someone helps.
You know what? They have that button to grab, but it's only kind of to grab from what I've noticed.
Yeah.
They should have made that the waggle and the action button fucking A.
Wait, the action button?
You know, when you roll or if you do something
Yeah.
useful, you know, you hold down. Oh, that'll be awkward.
Okay,
fine.
Yeah, I'd rather...
But they have the one button for that if you use in horizontal position.
Yeah, I'd rather use one for rolling and
Yeah.
running, because you have to use, for me, horizontal, you have to use that button anyways to run.
Yeah.
I'd rather use it for, like, roll.
Well, the run button used to be the roll button. You'd hold the roll and you'd run.
Exactly, so I'd rather use the one button for, like, rolling and running, and if I had to grab something, I'd rather shake the Wiimote for grabbing, rather than the other way around.
That's how it should have been, but they don't even give you an option. If you go into the options menu in this game,
they don't have a control setting, they just have how to control. So yeah, you can't even change the settings, you can only change the control style. But if you want a waggle-free game, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The other thing I don't like, since we talked about waggling with the roll, they made a change, and now in the older Donkey Kong Country games, you could chain roll, which is basically, let's say you have 3 enemies lined up next to each other. If you roll into the first one, you would actually regain your momentum and roll a second time automatically, and then you'd hit the next, and it would go until the enemies are gone and you lose momentum. In this game, you try it, it's not going to work, you're going to die, you're going to lose life. I did it several times because being an old Donkey Kong Country gamer, instinctively that's what I do.
Right.
Even knowing I'm losing life by doing it, I kind of just do it before I realize, like, damn, I can't do that anymore in this game.
And that's one thing I also kind of miss. The one hit and you're out system. I gotta tag you back in, you know. Instead of, we have 2 hearts and if you die you lose a life, and I'm still stuck chasing after your barrel anyways when you come back to life, but... Or vice versa.
I'm not too against the 2 hearts thing. I'm alright with it. I thought I was gonna not like it, but I like 2 people having 2 hearts.
I'm not completely hating on it, but you know.
I'm alright with it though. I'm not happy with no chain rolling, but then again, this might be something you have to get used to.
Well, I'm also not happy with where you're holding on the controller can mean the difference between if you actually perform your roll or if you do, for you, the ground pounds, or for me, shooting peanuts.
Yeah.
Because in order to shoot peanuts, you need to hold the D-pad still, whether it's you or analog stick.
You just stop and
you stop and you shake.
Yeah.
But if you're holding forward, then even the slightest, then you're gonna roll.
Okay. Now, that's not really much of a problem for me, because I was playing as DK.
Yeah.
And DK, it wouldn't really make sense if he could run and, like, pound the ground while he's running. So, whenever I'm going to pound the ground, I know, I stop, do.
Yeah.
But for you, as Diddy, you would imagine, you'd be running and gunning. That's what you would think.
You can't even target with the gun. You shake and he shoots like a predetermined direction.
So you can't aim. I was wondering earlier if you could aim.
Yeah.
It looked kind of...
As far as I could tell, you can't. So unless I get proven wrong somehow. Nope.
Okay. But...
So if I want to fire, I have to stand still and shoot, you know, my peanuts.
Yeah.
And... You know, it feels weird controlling Diddy like that, because sometimes I want to roll to get out of the way and then fire, but sometimes I roll away and then roll again into a pit or something.
Oh, okay.
That's what I don't like about the shake and roll system combined with the actions.
Okay.
It's getting us killed more times than we should be.
Well, for me, it's more so just the imprecise timing sometimes with the shake rather than the button pressure rolling. That's my gripe. But
regardless,
enough with those. It might turn out to be alright. We have to wait. We have to see. This might not be as bad as we think. It's only been the first few levels. You know, once you get used to it. I mean, there was some things in Sonic 4 I didn't like, but you get used to it and it's not as bad. So it might be the same thing here.
Sonic Colors.
I don't want to... Let's not get off topic here.
Yeah, not off topic.
But enough about the bad. Let's talk Well,
Well,
yeah,
we're
let's
talking
talk
about good and bad.
We talked
We've been
about,
mixing
well,
it
what
up.
I mean is just now. We were
Yeah.
talking about some, gripes, some negative stuff. Let's head back to the positive.
Head back to the positive.
Yes,
All right.
and what I liked, what I felt did harken back to the older country games, was that sense of exploration.
Right.
You know, in the older games, there were a ton of secrets to find. You know, hidden passageways, secret rooms, different items to collect. And Donkey Kong Country Returns pretty much returns that back to the franchise. You know, I thought it was pretty fun playing the game. You still got the Kong letters, so, you know, get all 4 in a level. And now there's these, I guess, puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
And there's a, different amount every level, but those seem like the real things you want to find.
What do they unlock, though? That's what I'm curious about.
You never know. They could always unlock something. I mean, it might be cool. Maybe you get a bonus world or something. You never know.
Hey, maybe. That'd be cool.
So yeah, I mean, Donkey Kong Country 2, right? Did you have to collect those DK coins?
Well, you always had the DK coins, but weren't there those other coins so you could go into the secret world?
Oh, okay, then I mixed it up. But the coins for the secret world, there were coins that got you a new world, so maybe these pieces could do the same thing. Oh, you messing with the style?
No, just playing with the controller. Go on.
But yeah, I liked it because we only played a few levels, but we still found a bunch of secrets. So it was cool, and you saw things where you were like, oh, I know there's a secret there. Like playing country games, like, oh, I spot that little banana, or hey, I see there might be a passage here. But even though we've played the older country games, we went through the levels and we didn't get all the puzzle pieces. You know, we missed out on quite a few.
Right. Well, one thing, now that you brought up mini games, I just thought about it. They all seem to be catch this certain number of bananas in a square room, you know? It doesn't look as varied as the other games. It looks like the same room, just with a couple more platforms, different sets of bananas.
Well, let's see. You never know. Again, we only did the first
first world, so the bonus.
And we missed some puzzle pieces. We might have missed some bonus rooms that might have had different variations.
Yeah, because you remember, going back to Donkey Kong Country 2 again, they had the kill all the enemies mini games. They had a little something for everybody. You know.
They had enemies, they had coins, they had bananas, they had the whole 9 yards. They had everything. So let's hope we get similar variety to that.
I want to see a variety in the mini games, not just banana collecting room where you collect a certain number of bananas in a certain time, or without falling off.
I could get that. I understand that. But regardless of the mini games, the exploration is still there, and it's pretty fun.
Right.
And hopefully, if there's a lot of variety in the mini games, that'll make exploration even more fun. Since you're searching for these games, and then you find them, and you're having fun with the games too. So it seems like there's plenty to look for. So that's something I was really happy about. That, I guess, made my day for the game. Just looking for all these secrets. And it seems like there'll be quite a few. Yep.
And also, before, we're kind of running out of time actually, but the music, it seems to almost be exclusively remixes of old Donkey Kong Country music.
We were talking about that,
And we're really hoping they come up with some new stuff.
Definitely. I mean, if they're introducing these new gameplay mechanics and not sticking completely to the way it used to be, it should be the same for the music.
Exactly.
I don't mind some like remix songs for nostalgia, but I don't want the whole soundtrack being reused.
And it feels like they scrunched it all into the first world. You got the minecart song, you have like the 2 jungle themes back to back.
That's why I'm really hoping maybe it's just a first world thing, you know, a way to ease us into the game and to feel familiar with the franchise again and the country series. And then once we get to the next world, maybe that's when we'll start hearing some more original tunes.
Right.
And I really hope so, because if they're going to take out stuff like chain rolling and stuff and add in these shake mechanics, I don't see why they can't add in new music and stuff too.
They better have some good stuff.
But we'll see. We're still testing the waters. We only checked it out for a little bit. It's just a quick preview. And soon enough, we're going to have the chance to play through it. And then we'll give our post-game impressions on it with game footage and everything. So you have that to look forward to.
And actually, I think we're running out of time, so...
Yeah, that was kind of the segue to... I did say next time we had...
I'm just
that
watching
was the segue.
Yeah, paying more attention to the time carefully, so...
Alright, so anyway, so like we said, we'll have something for you next time. Again, I'm Prota.
Which Jimmy am I this time?
KY.
KY Jimmy this week, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see you around.
Alright, later.